Rena, can I talk to you now? Could you lend me $300 again this month?
Mom, I told you last month, after I lent you money, that I wasn't going to do it anymore. How much money do you plan on taking from me? I can't do this anymore.
Take from you? Don't say it like that. I'm just borrowing it.
Well, you've never once paid me back, have you? If you don't give it back, it's not borrowing. Taking is the only word for it.
Rena, please. If you don't lend me the money, they're going to shut off the gas. It's the middle of winter. If they shut off my gas, I can't run the furnace. I'll die in this cold. Is that what you want? Do you want to be responsible for me freezing to death?
Why are you talking like I'm the bad guy here? This is your fault. You're the one always wasting money going out instead of paying your bills. And do you not understand the situation I'm in right now at my own house? You know my husband is battling cancer right now, don't you? Yet, you're still always bugging me for money.
I don't want to ask you for money. I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to. But I'm in debt.
Debt? Since when? This is the first I've heard about this.
That's because I figured you'd get angry if I told you. That's why I didn't tell you before.
Hold on a minute here. Are you saying you've spent all of Dad's inheritance in only a few years? And on top of that, you've racked up a debt? I can't believe this. If that's the case, then there's no help for you.
Don't say that. You're the only person I can count on. I know it's probably hard for you dealing with Connor's illness right now. But don't you think you should care a little more about your own mother's situation?
I do care. That's why I've been giving you money each month for how long now? Honestly, this is it. I can't afford to do it anymore after this. With all the hospital bills we have, there's no money left to pay off your debts too. And if we do have any money left over that we could afford to lend you, I'd rather spend it on making my husband happy than giving it to you. I know you just waste it anyway.
Okay. I understand that. I won't ask you to pay off my debts. So just give me $300, okay? Please. This will be the last time, I swear.
You say that exact same thing every time. How many last times are there?
So, are you telling me to freeze to death this winter? Please. Just this month. I'm going to get a part-time job or something really soon. I swear.
Oh, fine. But this is that last time. I'm not kidding. If you go back on your promise, I swear I'll never speak to you again. After this, I'm not giving you a cent. You're going to have to support yourself.
Rena. Thank you. I knew I could count on you. I understand. This is the last time. I promise. I'll find a job and work hard from now on. I apologize for not getting back to you earlier. How is Connor doing? I received a call saying he was taken to the hospital by ambulance. What happened? Is everything okay?
Mom. Connor. He passed away. He was sleeping when it happened. He went peacefully.
Oh. I see. I mean, that's a relief in a way.
What? A relief. What are you saying? What's relieving about that?
I mean, now that Connor has passed away, I have something to tell you. To be honest, I sold his wedding ring.
His wedding ring? What do you mean you sold his wedding ring? How is that even possible? How did you have it?
Well, the other day when I went to your house to borrow some money from you, I was looking around your house for something valuable I could sell. That's when I noticed his expensive gold wedding ring just sitting there. I also saw a gold watch with real diamonds around the face. I took them from you and sold them at a pawn shop for money. It didn't seem like you were using them. They were in your jewelry box. And I've never seen you wear that watch. I didn't even know you had it. But thanks to you, I managed to pay off a little bit of my debt. So my monthly payments are slightly less now.
Are you serious? What's wrong with you? Go back to that pawn shop and get them back. Connor didn't buy that wedding ring for himself. I bought that wedding ring for Connor with my own money. I worked so hard to save up enough to get it for him. And that watch. It's a keepsake from Connor. He bought it for me. It was a special present.
What's the problem? A deceased person doesn't need a wedding ring. And I've never seen you wear that watch. Plus, you're single now. You don't want things from Connor left around the house. It'll just make any new boyfriend of yours uncomfortable. Connor would want you to be happy. So he wouldn't want you to have any of his stuff left around.
He won't be happy because of what you did. If I were Connor, I'd think that you had somehow cursed me and were hoping I'd die. I won't forgive you for this. You're a horrible person. You're not my mother anymore. I'm not even sure you're human.
Okay. I'm sorry. I never thought you'd get this angry about it. I really did care about Connor. Really.
What are you laughing about? I should have known. Even when Dad died, I saw you crying a couple of times. But even so, you didn't seem sad at all.
Well, I was more concerned about how I'd keep living and paying the bills without him. How dare he go first and leave me to take care of everything without him? That's probably why you saw me crying.
Huh. Are you saying when Dad died, the few tears you shed were just because you were worrying about how you'd keep paying bills without him?
Well, I'm not crying for a dead person. When you die, it's over. Crying over the dead isn't going to bring anyone back.
I can't understand your thought process at all.
Well, everyone thinks a little differently, don't they? Anyway, if it'll make you feel better, I will contribute the same amount of money I used to pay off my debt to cover the funeral expenses. I guess I could get a job and work that much.
Don't. I don't even want you at the funeral. Because I honestly don't know what I'll do to you the next time I see you. And you'd better get me Connor's wedding ring back, too. What were you doing? I told you not to come to the funeral, didn't I?
I should ask you the same thing. My daughter's husband died. The least I could do would be to go and pay my last respects. That's all I wanted to do. And you had me thrown out of the funeral home for it.
I thought you said, when someone dies, it's over. Didn't you? You don't grieve for anyone. I know the only reason you came to the funeral was to steal the donations to cancer research. I told you not to come, and you still showed up in the middle of the service. but you didn't come into the room where the service was being held. One of the funeral directors saw you trying to get into the box that had all the guests' donations to cancer research in it. If that person hadn't noticed you, you would have stolen all the cash in those envelopes for yourself.
Don't say it like that. It wasn't as bad as you make it sound. Besides, I didn't have a choice. I still have all that debt I have to pay off. Why would the people donate all that cash to cancer research? It's not going to save Connor now. The least you could do would be to give me some of it.
Those donations weren't to go to pay off your debt. They're for cancer research. So hopefully someone else doesn't have to go through what Connor did.
But Connor was a very kind person. If he were here, he'd happily give some of that money to me. I can't believe my own daughter won't even help me out with this. After I gave birth to you and raised you. I'm so disappointed in you.
I'm the one disappointed in you. I can't believe I'm your daughter. I'm ashamed to tell anyone we're related. You only care about yourself. And just knowing I have your blood in my veins makes me sick.
How dare you say something like that about your own mother? Have you forgotten all the things I did for you? I raised you. But obviously I didn't raise you right if this is how you treat me.
You never did anything to raise me. Dad did everything for me and everything around the house, too. Dad was the only one who was ever there for me. The only time you ever came near me or Dad was when you wanted something. If someone asked me who raised me, you'd be the last person that came to mind.
What's gotten into you recently? Ever since I sold Connor's wedding ring, you've been treating me like dirt. If you and him cared so much about that ring, why wasn't he wearing it? It was put away at the bottom of your jewelry box.
You're horrible. Because of the cancer, Connor lost so much weight. He got so small the ring wouldn't fit anymore. It kept falling off his finger. We didn't want it getting lost somewhere. So we put it in my jewelry box for safekeeping. It meant a lot to both of us. That's why we put it in a safe place.
Well, I've already sold it now. So, you should just hurry up and forget about it and him. Keeping it for a memory isn't going to make you a cent.
I don't want to forget about it or him. It doesn't matter, because I've already gotten it and my watch back.
Ha?
I went around to the pawn shops you likely would have gone to. And found the one you used. I spoke to the owner of the place and told them what happened. They were nice enough to let me buy it back from them for the same amount they bought it from you for.
What? You paid money to get that stuff back? Are you stupid? Why would you do such a thing? That's such a waste of money.
I did it because they meant that much to me. You have no idea how human emotions work. That's why you can't possibly understand. And whether it's a waste of money or not isn't your decision to make.
No, it's clearly a waste of money. If you had enough money to buy back that ring and that watch, you should have just given me that money in the first place. If you'd have done that, I wouldn't have needed to steal the ring from you in the first place.
No. Now that I think about it, I'm glad you took it from me.
Ha? Why?
Because you stole valuable items. You're a thief. And I'm going to report you to the police.
Report me? Hold on. Are you saying you're going to press charges against your own mother?
Anyone who would be happy when Connor died clearly isn't my mother. As far as I'm concerned, you're not even family.
Hold on. Rena. Look, I'll apologize, okay? I'm sorry. So, let's not press charges, okay? And I'll pay you back all the money I've borrowed from you so far, somehow. Look, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Okay?
Whatever I want you to do. The only thing I want you to do is go to hell. But, first, I'll have the police come and arrest you and charge you with theft. That should make me feel a little better. At least until you're able to do the other thing I just said I wanted you to do.
Rena, I'll do anything. Just don't call the police. If I get a criminal record for this, I'll never be able to find a job. I've got a lot of friends. And if anyone finds out.
So what? I don't care about any of that. You say you're my mom. But all you've ever done is take money from me whenever you want. And then you get really happy when my husband dies of cancer. And you even steal my husband's wedding ring and the precious keepsake he gave me. So you can pawn them off and use the money on yourself. Who in their right mind would take pity on such a wretched person as that?
I'm the only family you have left now that your husband and your father are dead.
You're wrong. My mom's dead too.
Ha?
In my heart, you've already died, so I don't care anymore. And like you said, when someone dies, that's it. Grieving over them won't bring them back. You're not my mother, my family, or my friend. To me, you're just a random person on the street. However you live your life from now on is none of my concern. Oh, but I am going to make you pay me compensation money.
Compensation money.
Of course. You stole from me. I'm going to make you pay me back the money it cost me to get my things back. And I'm going to sue you for the mental anguish you put me through. I'm going to make sure I get every cent back, and more.
Rena, don't turn your back on me like this. What am I gonna do?
I don't care. This is how you chose to live your life. You made your own decisions. Live with them. Who was it that you always turned to when you needed help?
Rena, you're the only person I have. You're my daughter. Don't turn your back on your mother like this.
I don't know what you're talking about. My mother's dead.
Rena, don't say that. Are you saying you're not going to help your own mother?
How many times have I told you and you still don't understand? I don't know who this daughter of yours is that you keep insisting is real. But it's certainly not me. After that, I went and reported my mother's crime. And showed the police our chat as evidence. She was arrested and charged with theft. Unfortunately, as bad of a person as my mother was, she didn't have a previous criminal record. Since it was her first offense, they went easy on her. And she didn't get any jail time. After finding that out, I immediately hired a lawyer to sue her for as much compensation money as I could. My mother didn't have any money in the bank. But she had a lot of designer items as well as expensive jewelry. She was forced to sell all her expensive things to pay the settlement of my lawsuit. The fact that she was able to sell enough of her own things to pay my lawsuit just goes to show how terrible of a person she was to pawn my dying husband's wedding ring instead of her own stuff. But now that she had nobody to rely on to give her money all the time, her debts started to pile up quite fast. It wasn't long before she had to declare bankruptcy. She was forced to give up her house and all remaining possessions of value. By the end of it, she didn't have much left to call her own. Of course, many of my other relatives also came to my husband's funeral when he died. So everyone already knew that my mom had attempted to steal from the cancer research donations. That's why none of her other family members would help her out with her situation. And my mother always liked to say that she had a lot of friends. But when word spread around that she was arrested for stealing her daughter's dying husband's wedding ring, everyone that knew her began to avoid her and ultimately stopped talking to her. In the end, there wasn't a single person that would help her out. She left town, and nobody knows where she is now. I've got nothing to say about what happened to her, other than you get what you deserve. No matter what happens to her from here on out, it's got nothing to do with me. As for me, right now, I'm facing the fact that my husband is gone. Honestly, there are times when I get so depressed that I can't think of a reason to keep on going. But my husband left me many things that helped me get through the bad times. There were many relatives on his side that helped me get his wedding ring back. And the lawyer that I hired to get the compensation money from my mom was one of Connor's close friends. Connor's friends and family have helped me so much. I realize that I have a lot of people around me to support me when I need it. So I'm confident that I'll be able to pull through this and move on with my life.